Hey y'all, it's Laura, and today we're gonna go over my anticipated winter releases this year. So that's basically from December 21st to March 20th. I go by the solstices and equinoxes in case you're new around here. So currently I have 26 books on my TBR shelf on Goodreads from this time period, and I winnowed it down to 11 today. I'm trying to be a little more conscious for how I pick my books for these lists because I'm really bad at actually reading anything on these anticipated releases. Like a small fraction of what I read this year actually came out in 2016, and I bought a lot of them, but I didn't actually read any of them. For example, for my anticipated fall reads video, I bought 3 and read 1 of them, and for my anticipated summer reads video, I bought 4 and read 2. So trying to keep it more reasonable of what I actually am looking forward to and excited for. And even if any of these books that I mentioned on this list I don't read close to or near the release date, that in no way lessens my excitement about these books being out in the world for everyone to enjoy. Some books are already way overhyped, so if I don't include them, it's because you already know about them and I already know about them. You know which books I'm talking about. Caravel, King's Cage, Wayfarer, boom, I talked about them, anticipating them, done, boom, done. Perhaps I'll talk about that, my anticipated 2017 releases, so for like the entire year. You'll get it ahead of time instead of season by season. For now, I'm gonna stick to things that I'm planning on pre-ordering and things that you may not have heard of, that way we get more information about the books out there. Did you say books? Did you really just say books? I really just said books. I apologize, that's not on brand. The bookies. First up, coming out on December 27th is The Secret of a Heart Note by STACEY Lee. I have Outrun the Moon by her, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet, and so maybe I'll just like back to back do a marathon of all of her books. This is about a teenager who has a very delicate sense of smell, and she creates love potions and perfumes. She thinks that if she ever falls in love it would take away her abilities or whatever, and so what do you think she does? She falls in love. It just sounds like a really cute contemporary romance, my own voices book, so I really hope to get to that. The next book also comes out on December 27th, and that is the Selection Coloring book. And guess what? Y'all guys got the hookup. What is my life? How do I get things before they're released? How is this a thing that gets to happen to me? I can't even. KIERA, Cass, Teresa, thank you guys so much for loving me and taking care of me, and you appreciating me for appreciating what y'all do, and it's just, it's already in my hands. So I'm not anticipating it, but I just kind of needed to show it off, that it's beautiful. If you know me from my selection days, they're still my selection days, there's a very important quote in the Elite that's my absolute favorite. Love is beautiful fear. It's not freaking in this book. So I understand they can't please everyone, but that's the one quote I wanted. Next, coming out on January 3rd is a re-release of a book that was previously printed in German and now has a US release, and that is The Book Jumper by MECHTHILD GLÄSER. And it is originally written in German, and it's about a girl who can live inside books. She can go inside and interact with the characters and change things and talk to them. Why did it take till 2017 for a book like this to be released in the world of book lovers? How did it take this dang long? Coming out on January 17th is HEARTSTONE by ELLE, KATHARINE White, which is kind of a mix of Pride and Prejudice and dragons. Two of my favorite things. Holy cow. Holy whoa. But I'm obsessed with this. Also coming out that day is History Is All You Left Me by Silvera, and I've already pre-ordered this book, which shows how much I'm anticipating it because I want it in my hands. I have not read his other book, More Happy Than Not, yet, but I want to. All of his books just sound fantastic with a kind of eternal sunshine of the spotless mind mixed with regret and longing and unrequitedness and angst, and all dealing with gay Puerto Rican boys, and I'm just I'm here for this. This is about a boy whose ex-boyfriend dies and ends up becoming friends with his ex-boyfriend's new boyfriend, and there's a lot of angst involved, and it sounds heartbreaking and emotional, and I need to read it. I'm gonna be a blobbering mess. Not ready for that part. Ready for the book, but not ready for the blobbering mess part. Jumping ahead to February, my next anticipated release comes out on February 14th, aka Valentine's Day, aka Reading Books and Eating Chocolate Alone Day. Hashtag making the most of single life in a couple-oriented society. And that is American Street by ZOBOI. I did research how to pronounce this author's name, and I found some videos she was a part of, but she never pronounces her name in that, so I apologize if I didn't pronounce that correctly. This is about a girl who she and her mother live in Haiti, and they are going to immigrate to America, find the American dream, have the happiness they've wanted. However, her mother gets held in customs and the daughter has to move to Detroit and live with her cousins on her own and handle all the struggles of the American dream and what that means and what that doesn't mean on her own. There are some wonderful rave reviews that explain this as part immigrant experience, part alternate American dream, part magical realism, and it sounds right up my alley. Next up, we have the conclusion to one of my favorite trilogies, and that is the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. A Conjuring of Light is coming out. We get to understand what the cliffhanger means, who's on the cover, who's sitting on that throne, who's looking badass on that throne, like, am I right? Holland or Rye, it's like one of those, and I don't know which, and that's frustrating. I have a feeling it's Holland, because I have a feeling, we'll get into theories later. But Victoria has teased the dedication for this book, and it is for those who found their way home. And there are just 2 characters that we don't really know where their home is. What does this mean? I don't know what this means. What am I supposed to do with this information? I'm just like all over a mess, and I'm just, my candles are not calming like they're supposed to be doing. I'm just having a wreck of emotions, and this is why I don't talk about books outside of this, because I can't keep myself together. Like, this just, oh, and I pre-ordered this. Yes. This is the second book on this list that I've pre-ordered. There is a pre-order gift that has like this like long book jacket, so like it involves all 3 covers, and then you can like fold it around your 3 books. They had some extra at Y'all Fest, but I was traveling, and my YA for Life poster got busted up, so I knew I wasn't gonna be able to travel with it, so I'll just do the pre-order gift instead. But they had extras, and they just were gonna recycle them because they didn't know what to do with them, and there was so much leftover stuff at Y'all Fest. I'm so glad I went and scavenged while I did. Oh, that was the cool thing. Where are you? Ah! I stole Victoria Schwab's name sign. I don't know what event she used this for. I should have found her and like asked for this thing, but like I got this one and Jay Asher's. So these are some of my scavenged finds. Like, so random. Like, next, also on February 21st, is Long May She Reign by Rhiannon Thomas. I read her duology, A Wicked Thing, last year, or this year, 2016. I read it in 2016. I really enjoyed it. It was a Sleeping Beauty retelling with dragons. Long May She Reign is a standalone. It's a completely like novel new idea, and it's about a girl who's 23rd in line for the throne. So she decides to become a chemist because she doesn't have these responsibilities. And then suddenly everyone dies. Like, everyone dies. How do all these people die? What on earth? What's happening? It's just, the cover's beautiful. It has like a flask of some sort with a castle inside, and there's some like political intrigue, and I'm all about political intrigue, so I'm about this book. I sucked at chemistry though. I withdrew from Chemistry 102. I made it through the first semester, and then second semester was awful. And then I decided I didn't even want to be a bio major, so also coming out on February 21st. February 21st is lit, is The Education of Margot Sanchez by LILLIAM Rivera. This has been described as Pretty in Pink in the South Bronx. So it's about a girl, Margot, who stole her father's credit card to buy a whole new wardrobe for her fancy new prep school, and as punishment has to work in the family grocery store to pay back the debt. Then she decides to scheme to get her way out of this situation. So it kind of sounds like a Cinderella thing, but I guess Pretty in Pink is kind of Cinderella-ish. She just sounds fab. Like, I want to know what she decided to buy. Like, the big reason I want to buy this book is because I want to know what she decided to buy, like what brands were worth it. Then on February 28th is my final pre-order of this list, and that is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I did pre-order this. I needed to buy it. I knew it's extremely relevant, and a book like this should have been published years ago. Like, honestly, like, they're finally getting it, but I'm so happy we're finally getting it. And I've heard nothing but wonderful things from everyone. So it's based in the Black Lives Matter movement. It's about a girl, Star, who sees her best friend being shot and killed by police officers, and she's the only one besides them who knows and saw what happened. What she says or doesn't say will change her community and her world. This is just an extremely timely and relevant novel, and hopefully this book blows up so that there's just more awareness and more people talking about it, because I think a lot of people are aware. I just don't think people are talking about it. I think they'd rather push it aside or push it to the back of their mind and not think about it. And I think that's where we have issues in society of people not acknowledging problems, of being aware but not doing anything about them. So hopefully this book inspires some really great change and good in this world. It's fucking ridiculous that we're about to enter 2017 and we still have hashtags for people who've been murdered and brutalized by police. Fucking ridiculous. The Hate You Give, February 28th. If you've listened to nothing else I say in this video, buy this book, pre-order this book, tell your friends about this book, just do it. Cool. And the final book on this list comes out on March 7th, and that is The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin ALIRE SAENZ. And I loved Aria and Dante so much. We're gonna get a sequel from them sometime next year, and Lin-Manuel is gonna do the audiobook for the sequel also, but this is a separate book, so separate. but also by the same author. So, you might like it. This is about a high school senior and he's always felt comfortable in his life and in his skin, but starts questioning that. I'm not really sure how I'll leave feeling this book, except hopefully enlightened and probably tearful. Well, those are my anticipated winter releases. Y'all should comment down below with the one of these that you are most excited to read or most excited to learn more about, and let me know any other books that I might have missed, because then I'll know about them. From here on out, at the end of every video, if I'm burning a candle, I will let you know what they are. You just have to wait. So we have Winter Candy Apple. It's not the 3-wick, but I'm okay with that. Marshmallow Fireside, both from Bath & Body Works. I believe they come in 3-wick options. I just was like, I don't need a full thing. I have enough candles, but I wanted like sampler. This one's very marshmallowy. And this one I haven't been able to notice the scent at all, unless I'm like right up here. So I mean, there is a downside. They're not as fragrant, smellful is not a word, as the 3-wicks, but they kind of just add like a nice little something to the world. But this one I've been able to smell the entire video. So that's what they are. My name is Laura and this has been Bookies and Cookies, and I post videos on Sundays and Thursdays. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you never forget that you are loved, you are valued, and you matter in this world. And remember to try new fashion choices, because you might end up like Margot Sanchez and like learn from it somehow, or end up like me with my new ballin' hat, which I never thought I'd do a beanie, but I really love this beanie a lot. So that's all. Thanks, y'all. I learned I don't know how to wink recently. Which one was it? I think it was the American Singer video. I was like winking, but I wasn't actually winking. I was just like blinking. It was a mess. I love wearing this hat. It makes me feel ballin'. What's next? Ooh, spicy is everything. Like, I want to wear this every day of my life. Like, I'll just never take it off and then I won't have hat hair.